Sounds like a weekly occurrence to come and talk about deficit spending. So the next thing we're going to start talking about is this, 5.5 trillion. You can pick a number. It's a ridiculous tax and spending spree. This is when you go through it. It's just the Democrats' radical socialist spending. And let's look what they're doing. The reckless Democrat spending is causing inflation. I mean, look all around the country. Gas prices are up $1. Food prices are up. Car prices are up. Home prices are up. What we've done is the people that don't have the money, people on fixed income, people that are poor, I mean, we're making it very difficult for them to live. I grew up in a family like that. If you think about somebody that has said, oh boy, I did the right thing, I saved my money, I got ready for my retirement, they get in their retirement, they have this money in the bank, there's no interest on it anymore. So they can't survive on it. And so that's what I mean, our government has just ruined the ability for people without a lot of money to survive. It sure looks like Bernie Sanders now controls the party. It's systemic socialism. It's exactly what he's always proposed. You look at the bill that's going to, I guess, pass in the morning, the infrastructure bill. According to the Congressional Budget Office, $256 billion. Now think about that. One bill, $256 billion of deficit spending. One bill. Now look, here's they just put out their budget outlook. This is what they think we're going to be like in 2031. 4.5 trillion in revenue. They're going to have deficit spending. You know how most people would put out a budget, how they're going to balance? They're not even trying to balance the budget. $1.8 trillion deficit in 1 year, 2031. And this is where they're going to take the debt. Right now we're at a little over $28 trillion worth of debt. I think 28.5, and we're about to hit 30 trillion. We've already passed the debt ceiling. They're projecting to take our federal debt to $45 trillion. 45 trillion. Now they're assuming interest rates are going to stay down. They're assuming in 2031 the annual interest expense will be $1 trillion. So not quite a quarter of our entire revenue will go to interest, which we will get no immediate return on. It's all because of money that's been spent in the past in deficit spending. Now put that in perspective. If we go to the 50-year average for the 10-year, just the interest expense would be $2 trillion, and collections would only be $4.5 trillion. I mean, this is ridiculous, reckless government spending. Now, people say, well, how do you fix this? I'll tell you, I got elected in 2010 in Florida. I had a $4 billion budget deficit. The state had borrowed an additional $1 billion every year. We're about to go into default on our school debt, and we started looking at how we spent the money. We took line by line. There's about 4,000 lines of the budget. We went line by line. Do we need that? Don't we need that? And a lot of nice to haves, but if it's not must have, we just didn't do it. Balance the budget every year, and we started paying down debt. We actually paid down in 10 years, or in 8 years, we paid down $10.5 billion of the debt, a third of the state debt, and we cut taxes. And we spent record money in infrastructure, and record money for the environment, and record money for schools. So all the things we care about, we did. That's what we've got to do up here. But this $45 trillion in debt in 2031, and this is the Bernie Sanders Socialist Democrat plan.